guys. I want to make sure that I look okay. Look. All right, guys. I have my notes. I haven't went live in such a long time on here. Oops, how do I like my thing? Oh, I haven't been live on here, so it's trying to tell me how to work my own live. Oh, I'm at least able to like my thing. Okay. Oops, I had to do that. All right, guys. Really excited for today's topic. I haven't been live on here in so long. So, really excited for today. Waiting for you guys to climb in so I can go over this topic. It's really powerful. All right, I have my notes here because I want to make sure I get everything down packed for you guys. So one of the most important gland for women that always gets mislooked. Okay, this is really important because if you are a woman on here that wants to lose weight, like truly lose the stubborn weight, balance your hormones, because the main thing for women when it comes to losing weight is not just counting calories. That is a big thing that we get wrong. Okay, counting calories works well for men because they don't have to worry about their hormones changing every single week like we do. Our hormones change every single week, right? Our estrogen is high one week, our progesterone is low, and next week we go through different cycles, different phases. So it's really important as women that we manage our hormones versus trying to manage how much calories that we're intaking. Okay, if we slowly focus on calorie intake, we're doing it all wrong. We have to also prioritize this one gland, and this gland is called the adrenal gland, right? It sits right on top of the kidneys, and it's important because this gland actually regulates our weight loss hormones as women and our sex hormones too. There is a hormone called DHEA, right? It is a sex hormone that we produce as women that helps keeps us slim. So we are playing a hormonal game here. And one of the telltale signs to tell if the adrenal glands is overstimulated is if you are, someone mentioned it earlier, is stress. Stress is a big thing as well. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to properly turn on your adrenal glands, because it's really important, because if the adrenal glands are not on, a lot of your weight loss hormones are not activated. A lot of your estrogen, your testosterone is not activated. Also, cholesterol gets high in the body and in the blood if the adrenals are not on. Also, another thing that happens as well if the adrenals are not turned on is that you get loose skin. You also have issues with your thyroid gland, your sleep, and cortisol rises. Anytime that cortisol rises, guess what else rises? Inflammation rises in the body. So anytime you are stressed, guess what? Your stress hormone, which is cortisol, rises. And anytime cortisol rises, guess what's coming with cortisol? Inflammation. Okay, guys, so we're going to go over that. If you guys are truly ready to lock in for this live, make sure you give this live a thumbs up. Make sure you get your pen and paper because I'm going to go through a lot of different things. I have my notes. Make sure you guys get ready, okay? Am I speaking to the right room right now? Drop a yes in the chat if I'm speaking to the right woman in this room right now, okay? Yes, no, are we ready? Drop a yes in the chat if this is going to be helpful. If you're ready, make sure you share this live. Bella, if you're just joining, we're talking about the adrenals, which is a really important gland that is responsible for weight loss and hormone balance, which is one of the main reasons why a lot of women are not losing the weight, stubborn belly weight, etc. So if that sounds like you, make sure you guys like up the live, share the live, because we're going to go over some of these things now. Okay, so hopefully you guys are settled in. The first thing I want to go over is how to tell if your adrenal glands are overstimulated. These signs could be very minuscule, but it means so much. A lot of women waste a lot of money on lab testing and lab work because when you're doing lab testing and blood work, it never shows you the adrenals. Okay, it never shows you if the adrenals are actually stressed out. It will show you, yes, your adrenals are producing hormones, but it won't actually show you if the adrenals are stressed. So you have to take this into consideration and do your own discernment and do your own testing for your adrenals. And one of the telltale signs to tell if you have adrenal fatigue or your adrenals are overstimulated is if you get tired and you crash throughout the day. So if you are a woman on here and you're getting tired at 12, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., before the sun actually starts to set, that is a telltale sign that you're having some adrenal fatigue or your adrenals are overstimulated. Now, we have daylight saving, so if you are in the like North America or whatever, we have daylight saving, so that is a little, like, we can kind of push the rules a bit. But if you typically get tired around 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., those spots when you should have the most energy, that is that sign that the adrenals are overstimulated. Another sign as well is if you're in and out of sleep. So you're not getting efficient sleep. So you find yourself in and out of sleep and you wake up tired. That's a big, big sign, especially after getting like 8 hours of sleep. If you're waking up tired when you should be well rested, you guys, waking up heavy eyelids, that is the adrenals. Another sign as well that you're having adrenal overstimulation or adrenal fatigue is if you're more irritable. If you're more irritable, you feel moody, that is a telltale sign that you're having adrenal fatigue or your adrenals are overstimulated. Okay, really important. Now, another telltale sign to tell that the adrenals are also overstimulated, it is if you have slower metabolism, right? So if you find yourself not breaking down your foods correctly, because remember, adrenal glands are also in control of how you metabolize energy. Okay, princess, we're going to go over what to do. I'm just going to explain how the adrenals are fatigued so you know if this is for you or not. Okay, and for the person above, Google, because you don't sound like you know what you're talking about. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, moving on. So another thing as well with the adrenals is that if your metabolism is slow, you're not having enough energy. Also, another telltale sign is if you're not producing enough sex hormones. So testosterone is low, estrogen is low, pregnenolone is low. So pregnenolone is control of regulating those sex hormones as well. Also, another telltale sign to tell if the adrenals are fatigued is if you're having slow recovery. Okay, slow recovery. This is actually a big thing that nobody talks about. Remember, guys, when the adrenals are overstimulated, what happens is that your body starts to produce cortisol. When cortisol rises, so when stress rises in the body, so anytime that you have an injury, or let's say this is a really extreme example, let's say you get hit by a car, okay, and let's say your recovery for that is a little bit slow. That's stress, right? You get hit by a car, your body goes through stress, cortisol rises, inflammation rises. Now, if the adrenals are overstimulated, you could be producing way too much inflammation, which slows down your recovery. So anytime any area of your body has a lot of inflammation, it's going to slow down its recovery. So remember that. Always remember, any sort of stress, any sort of cortisol, inflammation is coming right behind it, and it's going to be extra increased. So if you find yourself after an injury, you have slow recovery, or if you're someone that works out and you find that you are having slow recovery when you're working out, that is that telltale sign to tell that the adrenals are overstimulated. Okay, another telltale sign to tell that I have written down is also high cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol is actually one of the most important things that your body also creates and your body takes from food. So there's such thing as good cholesterol and there's such thing as bad cholesterol, right? So your body naturally creates cholesterol, okay? And this is one of the things that we also been lied to, because we've been told that having, quote unquote, a lot of cholesterol, high cholesterol, is bad. Now, it's only bad if your body is not converting that cholesterol into hormones, okay? Really important, okay? Literally, guys, there's so many articles and studies. Cholesterol is what creates your hormones. So if you have low cholesterol, that automatically means that you are not converting your testosterone, your estrogen, your pregnenolone, your progesterone, all of those hormones. So cholesterol is responsible for creating majority of your hormones. So if you have high cholesterol and it's stuck in the blood or it's stuck in the body not being utilized, that is a telltale sign to tell that your adrenals are fatigued or overstimulated if cholesterol is building up in the body. Cholesterol is used to create hormones. Okay, I want you guys to write this down. Cholesterol is used to create hormones, especially estrogen, testosterone. Thanks for the gift. Progesterone, etc. So I would love to share my screen, but I can't. But if you guys Google, I want you guys to, after this live, write this down. Google this. Google a chart, and you can search up what hormones does cholesterol control, and you can see a whole chart. It's so much hormones. Cholesterol also is in control of cortisol. So if you have high cholesterol that's not being converted into estrogen, DHEA, testosterone, etc., it will convert itself into cholesterol. It will convert itself into cortisol. We do not want that. Okay, because anytime cortisol, remember guys, cortisol, inflammation is coming right behind it. Okay, so those are the signs. So if you resonate with 4 or more of those signs, that is a sign to tell that the adrenals are fatigued. Also, another sign to tell, if you have low stress tolerance, brain fog, poor concentration. So if you're a woman that's like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, very frantic, that is a telltale sign, adrenal fatigue. Okay, irritability, moody. If people are like, we just don't want to be around you, girl, right now, like you're just too frantic, that's adrenals. If you find yourself getting irritated or mad easily, that's the adrenals. A lot of people think, oh, it's just how I was raised, or oh, that's just me. That is a telltale sign, the adrenals, okay? And the adrenals is a gland that can be regulated with different tools and techniques that I'm going to show you guys. Right? One of the most powerful ways to regulate your adrenals is actually breath work, breathing. And I share this with my clients. And I'm going to share with you guys towards the end. I always tell my clients, anytime that your body is stressed, your body contracts itself, right? Anytime your body contracts itself, you're not getting adequate amount of oxygen, right? And as we know, oxygen is the form of life, right? We need oxygen to our body. Okay, because that gives our cells energy, that gives our body life. And without oxygen, there is no blood flow, right? That is the key. Blood needs to be flowing to our cells in a certain amount, in a frequency. If you are stressed, your body is contracted, which means blood cannot flow properly, oxygen cannot flow properly. Blood and oxygen are the 2 vital sources to life. So if you are constantly stressed, that is taking away from your life because your body is constantly contracting itself. And now your body's unable to process or move oxygen throughout your body. And that's what causes a lot of dis-ease, a lot of adrenal overstimulation. So one of the most effective ways to regulate your hormones, your adrenals, and regulate cortisol is through proper breath work. And I'll get to that in a second. So I mentioned the signs of adrenals. So if you resonate with 4 or more, that's a telltale sign. We're going to go over cholesterol as well, because this is actually the key. So one of the ways, so now I'm going to walk you guys through how to properly heal the adrenals, because it's really important, especially as women. So one of the ways we can heal our adrenals is actually through cholesterol. Okay. And this is something that not a lot of people talk about. You can go do blood work and testing to see what your cholesterol is like, but it will never tell you how it's being utilized. So is it being converted into hormones or is it not? That's something that the lab works, they don't really tell you that. But here's a telltale sign to tell. When you're doing any sort of blood work or lab work, look at your hormone count. Look at your hormones. If estrogen is low, if you're not producing enough pregnenolone, if your progesterone is low, always look to the hormones. If any of your hormones are low, ding, 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 Cholesterol is not converting those hormones for you, baby. So here's how we heal this. Now, foods that are really, really good for cholesterol is going to be your healthy fats. So healthy fats like avocados, olives. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now? Someone's calling me to decline the call. Okay, can you guys hear me? Thumbs up, yes. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so anytime that you're dealing with cholesterol, you want healthy fats. Healthy fats help with healthy hormone production. So avocados, olives, olive oil. Now you can add this into your salads, and you can also have this like during your dinner. I always tell my clients having one avocado for your salads and for your dinner is super effective because it helps with healthy hormones, healthy sex hormones, and it helps with your weight loss hormone, which is DHEA. So avocados, olives, even tahini, pumpkin seeds are super powerful. And if you want to up that, you can do activated sprouted pumpkin seeds. You can find these at your local holistic health store. Even sometimes they have it online. Check the ingredients to check if it's 100% natural, but I would always do activated sprouted pumpkin seeds. Thank you, Donald, for the gift. Appreciate that. So yes, healthy cholesterol. Also as well, you can do tahini butter, almond butter. Those are very efficient for healthy fats. Okay, so that's one thing. You want to raise cholesterol naturally, avocados, olives, olive oil. Olive oil is also really good for the liver. The liver is responsible as well for metabolizing hormones. So those go hand in hand. So adding olive oil to your meals. So that's for the cholesterol part. Now, let's go over like the sex hormones, right? Especially for women, like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone as well. So one of the ways to increase this is by adding in berries. So this could look like strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Berries are really powerful. Now, it's really powerful to break your fast with berries. So you can do 2 handfuls of berries every single morning for your breakfast, right? And you can add the berries with pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds. These are very powerful for the adrenals and for your hormones. Berries are one of the most powerful fruits to help with the pituitary gland, which is responsible for a lot of your hormones as well. Okay? It's also responsible for balancing out the whole endocrine system, which is your whole hormonal system. Okay, it's good for the thyroid. It's also good for hair, skin, and nails. Like, I love my berries. Like, this is why my nails are very, very long. These are my real nails because I do a lot of berries. Okay, so berries help for those sex hormones, especially if they're low. Low estrogen, increase the berries. Low testosterone, increase the berries. Low progesterone, increase the berries. So you can do blueberries, blackberries, even goji berries, camu berries, which is camu. It's one of the best berries that I love because it's the highest in vitamin C. The highest. Vitamin C is super, super powerful, especially if you want to de-bloat. Okay. And then, okay, how to properly turn on these adrenals. So there's 2 things I want to go over with you guys. The first thing I want to go over how to properly turn on the adrenals is diet. You want to make sure that you are in a certain fasting window. Overeating can overstimulate the adrenals. Undereating can overstimulate the adrenals because your body's like, we're not eating. Like, when are we going to have our next meal? Right? So overeating and undereating affects the adrenals. You want to make sure as a woman, because our hormones change every week, you are, anytime that you are eating, you're following the circadian rhythm. Okay, and I go over more in depth on like bloating and what to eat on each phase of your period in one of my one-on-one classes. So if you're interested, definitely hop on in to one of those. I do have a holiday gut reset that I'll talk about at the end, but definitely if you're interested on what to eat different phases for your period, because everyone's cycle is different. You may have different hormonal peaks during different periods. You may have irregular periods that we have to look at. So if you're interested in that, let me know, babe, because I think someone asked me about cycle syncing or something like that. So if that was you, reach out and I will help you with that. But moving on to like the two things you want to do. You want to make sure that you're eating with the circadian rhythm. You're eating with the sun. Okay. Now that it's winter, it's fall, you want to make sure that you are eating with the sun. So that is from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're eating from 12 to 6 and you're eating 2 hours after each other. So let's say you break your fast at 12, your lunch is going to be at 2, dinner's going to be at 4, and then you stop eating after that. Okay. That's how the structure is going to go. Because you want to make sure that you're in a minimum 12-hour fasting period, but you're still eating with the sun and you're eating 2 hours after each other. So you're not waiting so long to eat. So you're not eating 4 hours after. No. Really important that you eat 2 hours after each other. So you're giving your body, of course, enough time to break down the food, but also you're not overstressing your adrenals. You're eating just the right amounts. Eating in this way allows you to not have to focus on calories because that is very restrictive. Calorie cutting and calorie deficit does not support your adrenals. And I'll say it 110 times. Calorie deficits do not support your adrenals. Also, the mindset that a lot of people have behind calorie deficit is restrictive. Let me try to starve myself. We're not doing that. Okay, do you guys understand? We cannot do that, especially if you want to heal your adrenals, because what happens is that it will work for a month, but then you plateau and then you wonder why am I plateauing? It's the mindset, and also you don't have the right tools in place. You're not prioritizing your adrenals, which is one of the things I cannot stress enough that women need to prioritize, the adrenal glands. So if you want to make sure that you're eating the right amount of food, you're also in autophagy quicker and ketosis, right? Two things that are needed to lose weight and to also heal your body. Autophagy, your body's process of cleaning out itself. Your body's process of regenerating itself. Getting rid of dead cells, getting rid of the gunk. That's autophagy, right? So I want you guys to go over that. If you need to Google autophagy, go ahead and Google it, but it's super powerful. Ketosis, your body burns fat for energy. You need at minimum 12 hours of no food so your body can safely and healthy, in a healthy way, use your fat for energy. Okay, so that's number one. Eating from 12 to 6. Eating 2 hours after each other. Trying not to focus so much on calories is going to help with your adrenals. Now, the second thing is actually going to be, there's 2 forms of breathing that I want you guys to look into and to do multiple times throughout the day. Multiple times, especially before you eat. Before you eat, your body should be relaxed and calm. Let's go back to that example that I gave before. When you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, let's say you have a busy day at work and you're eating lunch and your body is stressed. Remember what I said? Your body contracts itself when it's stressed. Less oxygen, less blood flow. Imagine this is your digestive tract, right? This is your digestive system. And you're stressed, so your body's contracted. Do you feel like the food is going to easily slide down your digestive tract, or do you feel like it might be a little bit hard? Put in the chat. Easy when you're stressed or harder when you're stressed? So put either easy or hard. I want to see who's really attentive here. Do you think it's going to be easier or do you think it's going to be harder? Yes, I have some smart people in here. Yes, it'll be harder because the food can't slide down the digestive tract because you're contracting. It's like having contractions, and you're like fighting against your body. So it's really important to do breath work. So I'm going to show you guys how to properly do a breath work. It should be very dramatized, okay? Anytime you inhale, you want to inhale through your nose. And you want to feel your rib cage expand and rise. So anytime you breathe in, chest should go up, back should go out, protrude the chest, hold it for 1 to 2 seconds. And then let it release. So it should look like you're doing standing up like sit up. So anytime you breathe in, hold it. And you want to do that multiple times throughout the day, but also before you eat. So you can do that 1 to 2 minutes before you eat to relax your body and make sure your food is going down the digestive tract with ease. If not, you will notice more bloating, more gas, more indigestion, and we do not want that. Especially acid reflux, that happens because you are not relaxed and your digestive tract is not relaxed before you eat. So it's really eat to help regulate your adrenals, to help with better digestion, and to help boost your metabolism so you're able to actually absorb more nutrients from your food. Okay, quick thing, I hope this helps. Okay, I will be doing a part 2 tomorrow going over different foods, different exercises as well for the adrenals, but I hope this helps right now for where you guys are at now. Okay, if you guys, because it is holiday season, okay, so if you want to properly regulate your adrenals this holiday season, because it can be a stressful time, right? Cortisol goes up, inflammation is high, and especially if you want to make sure that your body stays snatched, stays healthy, even going into 2026. Like a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to start January 1st, and then January 1st comes down the line and they never start. Okay. And I would not want that to be you. So if you want to make sure that you're able to still detox while indulging this summer, then I created something that's really going to help you regulate your adrenals deeper so that you're able to, lose weight like a machine, girl. You don't have to worry about calories. You don't have to worry so much about, portion control, because I know that's a big thing, especially in the holidays. And the main thing that helps this is making sure that your adrenals are online. So if you want to lose the weight, lose the stubborn belly, because that's also the adrenals as well, feel good, have more energy, feel well rested, and also reduce cortisol, inflammation, and balance those hormones and the water weight. I created the holiday gut reset that goes over how to properly reboot the adrenals a little bit further than what I mentioned. That's more personalized for your body. I also go over how to stay snatched during the holidays and how to reset after indulging in the holidays. So it's not like I indulged in the holidays, I'm gonna have to wait until like February of next year, like none of that stuff. So if you would love that, then DM me holidays, and I can send you over more details on the holiday reset. Okay, really, really cool, because it goes over different tools and techniques to help you. So there's no excuse this holiday season, because you have the adrenal reset, you have the guides. Even if you do indulge, you have a guide to get you back on track. So if you're interested, DM me, okay, because I just opened the slots November 1st. So DM me if you want the guide and more details. So that would help. So yes, guys, go ahead and DM me holidays if you want details on the holiday gut reset. Okay, so go ahead and DM me. I'm going to end this live here so you can DM me now. I love every single one of you guys. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope this brought more insight, especially for women. The adrenal glands are really, really powerful. So if you want to learn more about that, which you should as a woman, because that is literally how we're going to be able to lose weight, because calorie deficits may not work for us. We have a lot of hormones, water retention, all of that goes against us. So if you really, no problem, Kevin Green. But yes, if you really want help on this, DM me the word holiday and I'll send you over more details and just see how I can help you with where you're at now. Okay, guys, so I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye now.